Interpore respondens, Iesus dixit, Confiteur tibi pater domine celiete, quia abscondis tie, ca sapientibus et prudentibus et revelastia parvis. Ita pater quoniam sicuit praecitur omnite. Omnia mihi tradita sunt a patre meo, et nemo navit filium nisi pater, neque patrem quis navit nisi filius, et qui voluerit filius revelari. Venite ad me omnes qui laboratis et tenerati estis, et ego reficiambos. Tulite ego meum super vos, et discite a me quia mitis sum et humilis corde. Et invenietis requie manuabus vestris. Jugum enim meum suaves et onus meum irede. Reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Matthew. At that time Jesus answering, saying, I confess thee, Father, Lord of the heavens and of earth, because thou hast hidden all these things from the wise and prudent, and revealed it to the small ones. It was so, Father, it was acceptable before thee. And all things have been handed over to me by my Father, and nobody knows the Son except the Father, and neither does anyone knows the Father except the Son, and to whom the Son wants to reveal it. Come to me, all ye who are laboring and who are burdened, and I shall refresh you. Take my yoke upon yourselves, and learn from me that I am meek and humble of heart, and you shall find peace in your souls. Because my yoke is sweet, and my burden is light. Father, the Son, and Holy Ghost, Amen. Dear faithful, maybe probably it's today that Father Salvador will hand me over the paper of my expulsion of the society. And if I am to take this event in the spirit of St. Francis, there should be no hard feelings towards the one whom I believe remains my superior general, towards Father Couture, and towards the other confreres. There should be no hard feelings, because either my punishment is just and I should rejoice at taking a just punishment, or my punishment is unjust, and in that case I should rejoice much more, because it's a great honor if my punishment is unjust. It would be a great honor for me to suffer for justice's sake. And it's something that St. Francis himself has always repeated in the course of his life, that if we suffer for justice's sake, there is no need to make a long face, there is no need to say, they are persecuting me, boo, 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 or, they are bad and I am good. There is no need to put up all these theatrics. There is no need to make a grandstanding. All we can say is thanks. Thanks to them and thanks to God. God, who is the one who in the end shall undo all this Chinese puzzle of 2012. It's a big Chinese puzzle. It's a puzzling situation for you. All of a sudden you wake up to this situation. It's also a Chinese puzzle for us. Because before that, I was not playing Chinese puzzles. I was playing with my plastic model kits, during my free time, and not worrying about anything. So there is no need for us to be bitter in any way. All we want to do is to just carry on as we were. We just want to carry on as priests of the Society of St. Pius X. Carry on as we were. Whatever paint they're going to paint us with, let them be free to do so. But I want to be very clear that I just carry on as I am. I just want you to know me as you've known me before. No change. No change in doctrine, no change in my attitude. And if God grants me the grace, no change with the good feelings and a good opinion that I have on Bishop Fillet and on Father Couture. Of course, they are wrong. They are wrong in grave matter of doctrine, And that's why things are coming to a head, because we don't agree anymore. And this is what Bishop Philly says, you know, if you don't agree with me, go your way. And that's what he's doing, telling me today. But there is no need to break the law of charity. I might have broken the law myself of charity. You know, I'm not above the others. All I hope is charity remains. Because normally, even in their eyes, I should still be a Catholic priest. And I hope that in their eyes, I'm just a confused person, you know. I'm just a confused Father Chazal who doesn't know what he's doing. And so there is no need to scandalize the faithful by being, you know, by fighting without any rules, fighting for our opposite doctrine now without the rule of the divine charity. And it's also for us, it's a moment to fulfill the poverty of the gospel. Because once you're expelled, you're stripped from many things. On the temporal level, there's no need to worry too much because we already have a base of support of faithful. So I don't see myself sleeping under the bridges, as we say in Paris, you know, or sleeping on the street. Did not happen. I thought maybe I was going to be thrown out by Father Nuda in Manila and sleep on the street. It did not happen. The cops didn't come and didn't throw us out. Only the Mass was forbidden and we had to say it on the street. But otherwise, they didn't throw us out. So it did not happen. And now, since immediately we have a base of faithful, well, I am not going to sleep in the streets of Singapore either. And if they see, knowing also that in Singapore, if they see me sleeping in the street, they put me to sleep somewhere else. So it's not happening that way. But we are being stripped, nevertheless. We are being stripped of the maybe of the good name that we used to enjoy, or being stripped of our, you know, health plans, you know, maybe the healthcare things, or we are being stripped of the possibility to have access to the faithful, because we are barred from entry to the mass centers, at least to the altar. We are being stripped of the possibility to preach from these pulpits. So we lose a few things. But it's nothing compared with the heroes of old. It's nothing compared to them. So there again, there is no need to make a grandstanding or anything. Well, you know, it's not that bad. You know, what's happening to us is not that dramatic. So there is no need to be bitter in any way. And as the society hasn't signed, the actual inking of the agreement with Rome has not yet happened, there is no need for us also to forbid you to approach these good priests of the Society of St. Pius X. I always believed, I always believed that we could work with the liberal priests in the Society of St. Pius X. I was aware of the presence of liberal confreres in the Society of St. Pius X, because possibly myself I was somewhat liberal at some stage. But what I don't understand is why liberalism now has the say at the top. That's a problem. Our organization can survive if liberalism is within our midst, because we are frail human beings, and liberalism in the end is a consequence of original sin. But we can, you know, get over our liberalism, overcome it, if the liberal elements are not allowed to take positions of control. It's when they take the position of control that, you know, I have a serious problem. And I don't have any hard feelings for those priests who are in favor of the agreement. Like Father Iscara, you know, he is a priest who was my respected moral theology teacher. And he gave us very interesting lectures. I remember about Martin Luther about Jansenism, and I thought what he was saying was very interesting. And I thought he was a good teacher, and he probably remains so. But the idea that it would be more virtuous for us, or it would bring about, more courage from us to go and fight within the confines of the official church now, I think it's very unwise. I think it's motivated by an illusion, which is very dangerous. So I disagree with the man now. I'm very sorry that his ideas have climbed. I am very sorry for that. And I wish we could collaborate again. I wish it's not possible anymore, but I wish it would be possible. It's one thing that Archbishop Lefebvre reminded us is that when he was a seminarian, he believed in religious liberty, which is the main error of the Vatican II Council. He believed that it was a correct system, and it changed. And he made up his mind in favor of the Catholic doctrine. And so we must not despair of the situation. We must hope that, those who are under this spell of reconciliation, or those who refuse to learn the facts about Benedict XVI, we hope that these people will open their eyes and see the danger in which they wish to place us. Or if they are against the agreement, as some of them say, they at least have the honesty to put back on their websites, or to put back in their predication what we always preached about. At times, at regular intervals, we always used to preach about the gravity of the actions of Benedict XVI, and the destruction of the faith, which is taking place at the hands of the Holy Father, the Pope, and at the hands of our local ordinaries, which are the immediate cause of the damnation of souls here in Singapore. It's the local ordinary of Singapore who is enforcing the new Mass with the backing of the Holy Father. And so I truly hope that these confreres return to this preaching. We are not talking about the Freemasons anymore. We are not attacking anymore, as we should do, even out of charity. We are not attacking anymore and telling people to stay out from the indult masses. And we are not blazing in fire against the hypocrisy of the indult mass run by the diocese, and warning the faithful not to go to this place for serious reasons of the faith. It's not happening anymore. Now maybe they will start to do it again. If they do it again, even to undermine me and to undermine our resistance movement, that would be nice. Because we see that in St. Paul. St. Paul rejoices. As long as Christ is announced, even they are not of my same same company, as long as Christ is announced, I shall rejoice. So we hope to see from their mouths. That's one of the motivations that we have, is to hope to see from their mouth the same talk as we used to have in the 40 years past, that has been diluted in recent years. We hope to see them, at least maybe for our sakes, maybe because they want to compete with us or whatever, but we hope to see this clarity of doctrine to return to their sermons, so that the rest of the flock may be entirely safe, and we can rejoice together in the Catholic faith, and make the faith very safe today. And but open your history books and see that the internal split within an order, that is, when a section says to the other section, you are not following the original message, while the mass of the original section gets very angry. And this happened in the order of St. Francis. It was a big headache for the popes, half of their decrees or pronouncements were about this question that was agitating the Order of St. Francis. Because the Order of St. Francis grew to 30,000 members or 40,000 members. And it was a very powerful entity in the Catholic Church. When these people were started to fight from the beginning of the end of the 13th century through the 14th century and the first half of the 15th century under St. John of Capistrano, when they were fighting, then the whole church was aghast, and scandalized, and it was a big commotion. It was kind of ridiculous, but the observants were doing the right thing. But did it mean that the conventures were bad monks? Well, some of them maybe were bad, but the church made use of the conventual Franciscans for 6 more centuries. And they were, I believe, canonized saints among the conventuals. So the conventuals did not turn all bad. It's not the case. It's not what happened. Now you had great saints at the observance, but the observants themselves did turn bad, and you had to have another split, which led to the existence of the Capuchins. And the Capuchins, at the beginning, the founders of the secessionist branch of the Capuchins, were not good persons. The founder of the Capuchins even lost the faith and became a Calvinist. Then the later Capuchins were much better, and many saints came out of the Capuchin branch. And then we are left now, and then within the Capuchins, Father Eugène had to split away from his fellow Capuchins. And that's all there is left, holding the faith entirely. So, they don't understand, those who contend against us don't understand that reasoning. So they want to make sure that, we are cut off, They don't buy the notion of SSPX, of strict survivance, or SSPX disguised, or bearded SSPX, or red sash SSPX. That really, for them, it's a complete nonsense. But maybe with the course of time, they will understand. I hope they will understand what we do. I hope they understand it's not the same thing as previous splits. That split is thrown upon us because we've disagreed publicly with our boss. Therefore, they are throwing us out. But I hope they understand that this is not the same. It's not the same thing as in the days before, when, for instance, when the Institute of Good Shepherd started, it started with another name, and they don't want to follow the statutes of the society of their founder, of the one who ordained them, Archbishop Lefebvre. They don't want to follow that book, that blue book of the constitutions. Whereas we follow that rule, we keep the same rule, and then we keep the same name, and we want to keep the same doctrine. For us, it's much easier. We don't need to rewrite our rules. Our rules stand as they are. Our spirituality remains the spirituality of Archbishop Lefebvre, the spirituality with which we were trained. And so we don't need to change things. There is no need. So, but it will remain an intricate questions. But the best way is to do it the St. Francis way. That either they punish us justly, and so we have what we deserve, and we should rejoice. And the other case, we are punished unjustly, and there also we should rejoice very much. Because if we are punished unjustly, then it's a great joy, it's a great pleasure for us to do what we do, to have an occasion to sacrifice something for the love of our brethren, for the love of the truth, for the love of our Lord Jesus Christ, and for the love of the Blessed Virgin Mary. We are very happy to place our lives on this day into her hands, knowing that God has great designs for her, for this time. And so if we can make the oblation of our security and the oblation of our reputation, the oblation of our good name to her today, then, we do rejoice today on this day of St. Francis at the fall of the blade. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost. Amen.